Alright, so the topic for today's discussion is concept, which is one of the very important factors for every design student who has to design anything, be it a building, be it a city, or be it a fashion line, fashion clothing, anything in the design stream has one concept. So when I ask my students what according to them is a concept, so some say that it is a basic idea that they have in their mind for designing a building. It can be a simple thought, and some say it is a belief. So it is even yes, some people also say that concept is also a feeling. Some person is saying, okay, I have a feeling that I should have a home which is in the center of the nature. So this is a feeling. According to this feeling, it has to be converted into a function, and then later on this functional aspect can convert into a spatial thing. So, according to my 7 years of experience, concept can be anything and everything. Anything on earth can be termed as a concept, and everything on this earth can be termed as a concept. It can be tangible as well as intangible. What I have derived from these 7 years is concept actually is divided into two forms. I have categorized them into two different types. So the first type is called form based concept, and the second is a function based concept. Architecturally, when a student is asked to give a sheet of a concept, for example, let me say that the project that we are going to do is a hospital. So many students come and they say, ma'am, my concept is the plus sign. So this plus sign in actual is the logo of Red Cross. So students think that this is somewhat related to hospital. I can have a shape of my hospital in such a way and it would look very nice. But in reality, it's not sure that people are not sure that either this shape is going to complement their site and the functionality of the place. So form based concept are something that I don't promote in my classes, because before coming up with any form of the building, we should actually understand the function of a concept. And after certain years of practice in your third year or fourth year, you'll realize that when you become good at designing buildings which are function based, it is always good to have a concept which is a combination of both. I'll give you one example. For function based concepts, we have several things. For example, sustainability these days. If you work on this, you can come up with a form later on. Maybe there's very good example of grid patterns. So grid pattern is something like this, the way on which Chandigarh city is designed. So it is easy for a person to work on grids like this and come up with very defined areas and practical areas inside one city or inside one building. So grid pattern also becomes a function based concept. Then someone might want to work on vernacular architecture. This will also come in your function base. Some students will say fluidity is my concept, then maybe organic architecture is my concept. Function base can have a vast area, and you can have several topics which are different in nature. Organic architecture, fluidity, then golden ratio. So there we have lots of things in function. When you become good at using all these things in your design, then your form will actually complement your overall concept. And a good concept, according to me, is a combination of form plus function. So don't ever think that if you are only working on the form, then you can work on a good concept, or if you are only working on the function, then you have a good concept. A good design always is a combination of both. I will give you one example. One of the examples of this is 30 Mary Acts. Okay, so this is how 30 Mariacs look like, and the basic concept behind this was constructing a building which was not affected by heavy wind loads. So, what happened in this building was, in the area in which we had this building, there was no skyscraper already. There were very less high rise buildings, and this building, which was to be made according to the businessmen in these areas, they wanted this building to be the highest and a kind of a landmark in the area. So for making this a landmark, they had to come up with the height which was higher than the already existing buildings. So the earlier buildings, in this area, yes, there was a problem that there was a very high impact of wind. There were very heavy winds in these areas. There were storms, and the impact area for a building which is in a cubical shape is more as compared to a building which is in a somewhat curvilinear shape. So the basic concept of this building was in the shape of a bullet, or you can say, or in the shape of a rocket. So a bullet overall, if we look at its 3D, it is all circular in shape, curvilinear in shape. The walls are not straight as that of a straight building. So this helped the architects to come up with the concept, because if the winds are coming, it will smoothly cross this whole curvilinear area. It was easy for the air to pass all around it. On the other hand, the buildings which are rectangular in shape, there will be a huge impact of wind on it. Some of the wind will be reflected back, and few of the building, it will, most of the high velocity winds will tend to make this building fall. So this will lead into a failure of a building which is high rise. So this form, which was in the shape of a bullet, it gave birth to this marvelous building, and it was one of, now it has become one of the most important buildings in the area. And you can see that this building has a form plus a function. The function was catered first, and later on a form was decided which could complement the actual function of a building, which was to take the load of the wind and to make a high rise building which was higher than all the buildings which were built earlier. So you can see that many marvelous buildings are made up of a concept which is a combination of form and function. So from me, it is an advice to every student, every person, to come up with the concept which is in actual the combination of both.